Good evening and welcome to my live stream. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. It's a warm welcome, and I'm glad you found me here in my live stream. Now, I'm on twice a day at 10 o'clock in the mornings, Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. on the weekends. Then every night, I'm on at 7 p.m., and that's 7 days a week. So that's 14 shows a week that I'm on. Now, I'm going to go through a little of the housekeeping here. Um, I'm going to put a banner up there that tells you one of the things you can do to interact with this live stream. You can text me a message. Make it either a question or a comment about CPS. We're here to CPS. And what I call CPS, it's the Child Protection System. It's found in every county and every state. And it's found worldwide, too, in every country. And I have right now 25 countries, and with the United States makes 26 countries that have either texted me on the show or called in. And they're from various countries around the world. I've also had every state in the United States call or text in, all 50 states. So I've come across about 3,000 people that I've talked to in the last 2 years. Now, this is my 25th month, and I've been doing this since October of 2023. We just had someone sent me a text message, so I'm trying to find out who it is there. Okay, I don't need call notes. Okay, I just checked to see who's texting me. It was Christina Reynoso from Las Vegas, Nevada. So, hello, Christina Reynoso. I just saw the text message. Thank you. Please forward the email I sent you, okay? Okay, I'll post it forward to Erin. Now, I don't have an email for Erin. I think I just have her number. Hold on. Um, you want me to send to Aaron the group for you. Um, I'm confused. Let me go back here. Uh, we have Joy Gonzalez. Welcome. With all due respect, oh dear. Joy must be happy, upset about something. She says, with all due respect, let's see here. I was threatened in my home and tried by the CPS workers in Fresno, California. Well, I can try to help you case. There's so many you have questions tonight. It's great. I love this input. Um, with all due respect, okay. And I hear you. Now, that was Andrea who talked to me from Illinois this morning. Hi, so the judge reviews my order of the trans riots that I requested. He should not refuse. If you have a case, nothing should be hidden from you. That's wrong. And Joy, I don't know what part of the world you're from. Christina Reynosa is from Nevada, and I hear you from Illinois. But Joy, I have no idea. Oh, you're in Fresno. I'm sorry, you're right. Fresno, California. And I tried by the CPS workers. There's no help. Well, I don't know your case, all the details. And oh boy, I had a banner up there. It disappeared. There it is. I don't know why the banner disappeared. Can you ask random people if they've seen you using drugs? What do you mean? Okay, let me see what you got going here, Joy. In Fresno, California. CPS told me at my kitchen table, or should I say, he said he had a lie detector tool that uses on people to see if they're lying. They can tell you that. I don't know about that. I've never heard of someone has a lie detector. A lie detection is a really hard science. You know, you can be testing a lie detector and pass it, but you really are telling lies. You can fool a lie detector, and they're not necessarily admissible in court. And the person that does it, you need to do it in a special setting. It's really, I've been through a lie detector test, and you got to be really calm. If you're emotionally upset or things like that, you get a false reading on that. And it isn't something that someone carries like a blood pressure cuff or something along those lines. Um, can you ask random people that seen you? Yes, they can ask anybody. Yes, they can. They can ask your neighbors or the school people or anything that have seen you use drugs, maybe. They can do that, Joy from Fresno. You're very welcome, Joy. I'm so glad you come into my room here because I will try to help you. Want to know how you found out about my live stream, but I'm here to help everybody. I've talked to over 3,000 people about their CPS case from around 26 countries, and they all shared something in common. They had run into what I call as a rogue CPS entity. You don't know the child protection systems out there, and 50% of the time you can encounter a rogue agency. And that's really scary. I too was a victim of CPS. I've been fighting them for 15 years. And for 3 years, they had my kids in custody. I had to unfortunately get an attorney and quick sell my home, get the money to hire the attorney because my children are more important than a home, which is sad. CPS stole my home. I mean, I lost my home. I lost my youngest daughter. It was terrible. It's terrible what CPS does to you. They lie and they cheat. They commit perjury. They violated your constitutional rights and everything else. Oh wow. Wow. Hmm. So anyway, I'm here to answer your questions and your concerns. Now, I'm an educated father of 6 children I help raise, and I've had 43 years of marriage experience. And unfortunately, at my time of life, at age 60, I was laid off from my forever job. I'd gotten my home. It took me 45 years to get my home. Worked really hard for it. If I still have my home, it's worth about 2 mil, but at that time it was about a mil. When I had to quick sell it, it's really sad because in California where I live at a place called Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. Anyway, homes are really expensive. They really are. And I had a great job. I had a great job. But unfortunately, when I lost my job through no fault of my own, at age 60, it's hard to get work. It really is. It really is hard there. Oh, what's my number? Let me put my number up. Sorry about that. And you can call in. Okay, there's my number. It's 626-698-0990. And it'll ring my private line and it'll just be talking live on the show. But I can try to help you work you through your questions and your concerns. Now, Joy, they can ask anyone around. That's the sad part. They do investigations. And you can have people that don't like you as a neighbor. Maybe your dog barks too much or your yard overgrows their yards. They're going to retaliate. That's why a lot of times they call in false reports about you neglecting your children, abusing your children. They're called laymen or laywomen or layperson. They can be your relatives, your in-laws, your family members. It could be a lot of things. And sad too that a lot of the teenagers are upset because of you being hard with discipline and coming down on them, and they want to retaliate. So, Michael Ryland, I don't know where you're at, Michael, but welcome. There's my number. It's open to call 626-698-0990. Right on time. Hello, this is Bob Pace on live stream. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
Yes, sir. It's Michael Ryland.
Hey, Michael, welcome. And what part of the world are you from? I'm sorry. There's over 3,000 people, and I know that. We have you from Tennessee, and now I remember. So, what can I do for you tonight? What questions do you have for me?
Okay, so I went to my last semester.
Why did you get kicked out of the visit?
They said it was talking about the case.
Okay. That's a no-no. That's no-no.
Right.
It's
Okay,
sad.
So I went in there a little early, and I had to speak to the Omni supervisor. Omni is a third-party adoption agency, but they also have foster homes, and my kids are in those foster homes. Two of my kids are in one, two of my kids are in another. But they have Omni supervisors. So the people that were the Omni supervisor, the one above the entire place, I went in and I talked to our boys' first supervisor. And I'm like, hey man, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you in 6 months. So they're still violating my kids' right to practice their religion. That Mikey and Ray are still not in church. And he's like, well, let me get his supervisor, Natalie, on the phone. So he got his supervisor on the phone, and he said, Michael's in here. He's pretty upset. He's saying that we've been violating his son's right to practice their religion for a year now. And this has been going on since I was involved, because he was a thorough caseworker. And so he confirmed with her, and she told me that the boys' foster dad was allowing them to watch church on Zoom, like a live stream church. And I was like, okay, well, when the kids finally did get there, I
I don't need to know the names. You just say the foster mother. That's all you have to do. Okay, the foster dads. Now, on the when the judge set up the visitations, how do you set it up?
We have supervised I had 4 hours supervised visitation, and my wife had eight. They moved hers up because I told you I got the charge in Alabama. I'm facing still.
Yeah.
Like we completed the permits plan. Okay. Well, let me move on to the main story when I got kicked out.
Okay.
I ended up when the kid boys got there, I asked them, I said they're saying that you've been attending church on Zoom. Is that true? My son said no. Well, the supervisor's like, you're not allowed to ask him that. And I'm like, why? She said, Natalie told the supervisor told them her not to allow us to talk about,
That's nothing to do with. That's nothing to do with about the case. Ask your son if he attends church or not. It's nothing to do about the case.
Yeah, that's what led up to this. Is what I'm saying. Okay, so my wife finally gets there, and I asked my little girl, my 14-year-old daughter, I said, Elizabeth, are you? Because right after she said it, I'm like, that ain't an adult matter. I said, Elizabeth, are you a Christian? She said, yes, sir. I said, do you like going to church? And she said, yes, sir. I said, Mikey, are you a Christian? He said, yes, sir. I said, do you like going to, or do you want to go to church? He said, yes, sir. And she started messaging her supervisor, and basically saying I wasn't following the rules because they set rules. Like they do have a rule list, but they haven't ever shown me the rule list. They give it to my wife when I was incarcerated, but never actually give it to me and showed me. I never signed it. Well, my wife shows up. We come in. We go into the little room, and we bring cake, ice cream, pizza, breadsticks, and it's one present. But we always get our sons or our kids 7 presents for their birthday. We wasn't able to do that because I went and got a lawyer and paid a consolation fee. And so when he seen that there was only one present, I told him, I was like, son, we're still going to have a full birthday party. When we had to purchase a lawyer, we had a very important court date coming up. Well, that's when the caseworker yelled at me and said, you're not allowed to say that. And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I allowed to say? She's like, just drop it. And I'm like, okay. So I start to go back to play with the kids. And I'm like, what exactly did I say? I'm thinking to myself, what exactly did I say? I think you know, so I don't want to speak on this again. I don't understand what's going on. And so I go back over and I ask the lady, can Leah step out of the room with me and explain to me the rule I broke so I don't break it again? And the one lady said yes. The one lady said no, just wait till after the party. But the other lady slams her hands down on the table. She's that voice's direct supervisor. So she's the one under such scrutiny for violating their right. When the foster parents don't go to church, it's then up to the caseworker to make sure that they get there. I mean, that's the law. I looked it up. And so it fell on her, and everything was on her shoulders. So she slams her hands down, and I'm upset with that. You get out of here. And I'm like, please call your supervisor. I didn't do anything wrong. And she ended up calling her supervisor, so I sat down and talked to the same lady, Natalie, on the phone. And she was yelling and screaming at me. And I was like, see, I'm not going to get anywhere here. Well, we ended up, they kicked me out. When I got out, I called the police. And I told the police that they were violating a court order, that I didn't break any rules. I told them about how I was going to address them violating my kids' First Amendment, and testified that it was retaliation. The sergeant said that, and he talked to her, and then he left. Give me the report number. Well, they went on for 4 hours. I had to sit out in the cold car, of my wife's cold car, and they talked about me like I was a dog right in front of my kids and my wife. And like 3 minutes to like 15 minutes to the end of the visit, I messaged my wife and I asked my wife if they're going to allow me to give my kids love before they leave. And if not, it's okay. I'll just give them the love you time. Well, she didn't get to ask them because they ended up calling the cops. Mind you, the entire time that this visit was going on, I was sitting outside in the car. Well, they had the outside door propped open with a chair because it was hot in there, so they wanted the outside air to come in. Well, I could have walked in at any time. Do you think at any time they were feared for their lives or for my children's lives or if I was going to do anything if they had propped the door open the entire time? 4 hours they had the door propped open. Well, to make it seem like they were feared for their lives, they waited till 5 minutes before the visit was up when they called the police. And got the police tell my wife to leave, and they ain't bringing the kids out until after we left. So we ended up leaving, and we get a phone call from the CPS worker. I sent the CPS worker phone. Like I told her that I didn't break the rule. Well, when I was in the car, I called my pastor, and he prayed with me. I cried for a while, and I'm like, let me ask my phone. So I told my phone exactly what I said because I have an AI lawyer's app on there, and it said speaking about the case. That was the rule I broke, but then I looked and investigated more into speaking about the case. What exactly speaking about the case against the rules? And it said coaching the child, like it's either coaching the child or messing with the child's emotions or like telling the child say this and this in court.
Yes, understood.
So we ended up having a meeting. And not only did they take my business, but they took my wife as well.
Well, you see, here's the problem. You're dealing with a very bad CPS case, a very bad CPS workers. They retaliate. They do revenge. I don't know what the workers are getting for bonuses, but they must be doing something because it's terrible what they're doing to you. They're demeaning you in front of your children and they're doing everything. But see, this is a problem when people try to fight CPS without a paid attorney. If you don't have a real attorney, you're not going to go anywhere. You can't fight them. You have to go along with everything they tell you. If they say you can't talk about church, then don't talk about church. You have to go along with all their games. Otherwise, they're going to make your life miserable.
I ended up, we left. During the meeting, I brought up some key facts, the rules that they violated the entire time. See, when we got on the meeting, they started lying and said this was an ongoing thing. They say it was, I thought on there, I was like, look, I broke a rule. I'm sorry, I was punished. I don't feel like I broke it in the manner of talking about the case as far as I wasn't coaching my kids. But I did break the rule, and I was punished for it. My only visit this month was canceled. My kids were bawling their eyes out. I was crying. I've been punished. Have mercy on me. And they were saying things like flat out lies that this is an ongoing thing. That this is happening. The Wonder Woman, the Boys supervisor, the one that's doing strong scrutiny for the First Amendment thing, she said that this is happening every single visit. I said that is just flat out a lie. That's not true. Where's all your reports? Because the last time we had a visit with just her, we went to Tempton, a bowling alley, and in the bowling alley, she allowed us to run around with the kids and play arcade games. She allowed her little girls supervisor allowed us to, when we were in Florida, we were supposed to get to the park. And she told us that if we wanted to go on a walk, just to let her know. So we let her know that she could follow us and walk with us, you know. She let us walk 300 yards away to see the small train. And this big long train track all the way around the park. And we walked the train tracks and looked at the train. And they said that she even admitted, you know, she didn't mind that as long as we wasn't sitting down in a room, that there was never ever any problem. You know,
Was this an active train track? Was this an active train track?
No, there's like little bitty trains, like trains that kids used to like. They used to have a conductor come out there, and kids would ride that little train around. The trains don't run anymore.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm asking. I said, was it an active track? Because as an active track, you can be held for negligence because you're allowing endangering your kids.
Right. No, sir. It wasn't like that. It was an Oakley train track that's no longer operable. But my biggest point was, you know, they say that this happened every single time, but yet, you know, they allow us to walk 300 yards away and, you know, play with our kids and at the bowling alley and completely out of their sight, completely away from them. It just makes no sense to me that they can. At first, I thought the GAL was going to be on our side. She got on there and she was praising me for standing up for my son's right to go to church. She's a Christian. I watched her podcast, and she's the same one that got the DUI about 3 weeks ago. She got on there and like praised me. I thought it was going to go well, and they ended up taking my wife's visit away. She had a visit in between nights with the kids, and she had 8 hours, so I had 4 hours. Well, they ended up taking her visit from her and saying that we'll just go after, like, we'll go to court and we'll figure this all out at court. But until court, you know, no business. And the reason why they said that is because they said she was in agreement with me. She didn't yell at me or scold me or argue with me about any of it. When she was in agreement with me, she agreed our son needs to be at church, you know. But if she would have yelled at me and argued with me in front of the kids, that would have been a problem. And we know what the GAL recommendation was? Couples therapy. If she didn't fight with me, if she stood by me as the spiritual leader of our family, they recommended family therapy was a recommendation from my psyche eval. They're trying to say that my youngest son has ADHD, and to me, he's just a boy. You know, boys have a lot of energy, and when they don't get to get their play outside and have to get their energy out, you know, they're up. And so one of the recommendations, you know, 6 months ago, from my psyche eval was to do family therapy, and they just failed to do that. You know, that was an overlooked oversight of theirs. But they did recommend that. They recommended couples therapy. Me and my wife had therapy. When, you know, why recommend couples therapy? Because she agrees with me and she stands by me as the spiritual leader of our family.
Well, can't remember all your cases, but I know you said you're incarcerated. How did it? I mean, were you and your wife had a good relationship?
Yes, sir. We both were incarcerated.
What was she incarcerated for? What was she incarcerated for?
She went home come home from work, but first she stopped by a friend's house, and she had like 2 drinks of alcohol. Well, when she got on the Natchez Straits, which is a state park, she got pulled over by a state trooper on her way home. Well, the state trooper gives her a breathalyzer test and she passed it. So he let her come home. Well, when she got home, she was arguing with her brother. We were staying with her brother at the time. She was arguing with her brother, and her brother ended up telling us to leave. So we got in the car and left. Well, when we got in the car and left, she called and said she was driving. He called and said she was driving under the influence with the kids in the car. So they arrested her for DUI, arrested me for DUI by consent. I haven't drank. I don't drink, and I don't have a license either. I have grandma's issues, and so I'm not allowed to have a license. But they arrested me for DUI by consent and charged us both with neglect.
Well, okay. Why did you not have, was this a criminal neglect or was this a CPS neglect?
It was criminal neglect, but they dropped the neglect charges and just stuck me with DUI by consent. Got her with DUI, but I ended up staying in jail for like 3 months.
Did you plead not guilty? Did you plead not guilty?
No, we both took pleas. We both took pleas.
There was your mistake. See, there was your mistake. You never take pleas. They never work out.
They said that I was evil. They said that they would keep both of us in there for 6 months.
Well, the way they think right now, you don't have money for an attorney. They're not going to keep you in there for 6 months. You can post bail. Now, if you don't have money for bail, you don't have money for an attorney, yes, you're going to be incarcerated. You're doing exactly, they're taking advantage of you, that situation, which is a shame. Because typically, if you're charged criminally neglect of your children, there's a trial that takes place where there's a jury trial. Now, did you have a full judge or did you have a commissioner?
We went to court. We took the pleas. She got out of jail.
Before you did all that, what kind of judge did you have? Did you have a real judge or commissioner?
The judge is the same judge that is doing the juvenile case.
There's a conflict of interest. There's a conflict of interest. Tennessee is messed up. You can't have the judge work in CPS court and then work in criminal court.
I know. That's my point.
Wow.
Yeah. I asked my public pretender to ask him to recuse himself, and he just wouldn't make the motion for me. I asked him 6 months ago to make a motion for unsupervised visitation. He wouldn't make the motion for me. I've asked him to do a lot, and he eventually I made a complaint on him and the judge that they were prolonging my case. And my on the lawyer was he would only contact me when he wanted me to do his job. Like when he wanted me to reach out to the providers and send them my certifications and just do the regular things that a lawyer's supposed to do. And after I made the complaint on him to the bar, he used the kid's GAL to make a motion to be taken off my case. So now I have no lawyer. And I paid $350 for a consultation, and everyone around here told me that this guy was the lawyer that I went to see would take payment, but he ended up saying.
I know you told me about that. I remember that, and you should report him to the state bar. You should report him to the state bar.
Right, because his secretary even said $150 of that $350 would go towards my first payment, and that it just never happened. So here I am. I violate a visit, a rule on a visit, telling my son that I had to spend $350 so I couldn't get him his whole birthday on a lawyer because in and we'll see whether or not they're going to take our business from us.
Well, they got you because you don't have a real attorney, and they know you don't have money, so they're going to take advantage of it. So they are going to take. That is bad. That is bad.
Yeah, we're literally at the point to where we've finished our permanency plan. We've done everything they've asked us to. We've passed all of our drug screens. We were coming up to the point to where we should have been getting our kids back at the third.
Yeah, I'm so sorry what you're going through.
Instead of having a hearing, I would like to have a lawyer at that meeting, during that meeting, and they went ahead and did it without me having a lawyer. Oh, okay, yeah. One of the lies that the Army workers said, when pushed about 3 minutes till the end of the visit, my wife finally stood up and was like, y'all kid came out of here for supposedly talking negative or something. That's what she thought it was. But she said, y'all kid came out of here for talking negative, but y'all sit over there on that corner and y'all run y'all's mouth about him the entire visit where we can all hear it. And she stood up and she was like, oh, really? That's how it's going to be? And she said, this is why y'all have to move on to unsupervised visitation. Motor girl knows what that means. My 14-year-old daughter asked my wife, Mommy, if we don't move on to unsupervised visitation, don't that mean that I won't get to come home? We won't get to come home? She literally lied in the meeting and said she did not say that.
Oh.
And I mean, I'm torn between, asking the court to allow my daughter to speak because we've had my wife's lawyer subpoena and stuff. She had to go.
How old is your daughter? How old is your daughter?
14.
Okay. Yeah. Well, would she say something negative? Would she say something negative of you?
The lady, yes, they kept saying some negative things. That I messaged the lady on her work phone and told her that I didn't break the rules, but here was their rules because I looked up their rules and I took a picture, a screenshot of it, and I sent it to them. They were supposed to, like, if I said something wrong, they were supposed to wait till after the visit and talk to me about it. And only if the kids were at danger or at risk were they supposed to cut the visit off and stop the visit, basically. And they didn't do that. They continued to sit over there and talk negative about me the entire time. Said that if I messaged her phone, which was her work phone, one more time, she was going to get me for harassment. Right in front of my kids and my wife. My kids haven't heard from. We haven't been able to talk to our kids, so we don't know what they said. I know that I told you our boys' foster dad is really, really, really rotten person. He got on there during the meeting and said Mom and Dad's really gonna love this. I don't know why he's saying that we haven't been to church. Maybe it's because he's so manipulative. Saying that 13-year-old son's manipulative, and that's why he's saying that. He said he didn't know what Natalie was talking about a Zoom church. They went to church for like 4 Sundays in a row. And I know for a fact that's not true. My son does not like me. He's a very respectful young man. Like everyone involved knows my son's not manipulative. And the last time he said that was 3 months ago during the 3-month meeting. Every 6 months you have a court date. And every 3 months you have a meeting on Zoom.
I have a question for you. I'm reading about the Omni Vision foster care. Now, they say it's therapeutic foster care. Do your children need intensive support, supervision, and personal intervention?
No, sir.
Well, that's what Omni is all
They
about.
just replaced them.
Omni is supposed to be therapeutic foster care for a home-based program for children, support, supervision, and personal intervention. I'm reading about the Omni.
No,
So good.
the only reason why they're in Omni foster homes is CPS said they didn't have enough foster homes. They put them in
Oh,
they
they're
put them in
using,
like a
well, yeah, the Omnis are supposed to be for the people that work there, the people that are there probably are thinking that your kids need special supervision and therapy. They got you really set up bad there.
Right. I mean, these people get $10,000 a child, and
I
they have
know, I
four
know,
beautiful children.
I know.
And
They
they
get
have to
they
go
get another
to them.
the county gets another $20,000 from the state to have each of your child per month. They're getting $30,000. I know that.
Right. So like, they lean on us as our own thing because we're coming up on a court date to where they either have to give us our kids back because we've completed everything, done everything, passed all the drug screens, we have a home, have had a home for 7 months now. Well, I mean, we're doing good. My wife went from not having a job to having a job, then becoming a manager, and now she's the AGM at her job.
Well, did you know that foster parents at Omni in Tennessee get $3,873 from the county, which is 43% above the national average?
Yes, sir.
It's all about money.
Yes, sir. That's why he keeps lying. The girls' foster mom told this happened at the last visit. I'm not sure if I told you about this. I'm pretty sure that it happened at McDonald's. The girls' foster mom said that Ray was always good for her. Our youngest son, he was always good for her, and that the reason why Ansley keeps saying he's so bad is to try to keep him in foster care.
Did you
So
know that
Mommy
there's
Instagram,
did you know there's 9,000 children in foster care and 4,000 foster homes in Tennessee?
no, I did not know that.
Yeah.
What I do know is this guy is really, really, really nasty and rude, and I know he's lying. I know my son's not manipulative.
Okay, how many people are in the home? How many children are in the home, including the children of the foster parents? How many people are in there?
They have one 17-year-old that they adopted, and my two kids.
That's three. That's against the law. It says the foster home shall not have no more than two children under 2 years, including the foster parents' own children. I guess that's under the children under the age of 2. They can have no more than two. And if one of them happens to be the foster parents, that counts. So they're not allowed to have more than two under the age of 2. And furthermore, there shall might be more than 4 in a home, including the foster's parents' own children. So total, they can have no more than 4.
I told you what happened at McDonald's. My son, they go to the girls' foster home sometimes, and they stay there for like respite. It's when foster dads go on vacation. Um, my boys go and stay with the girls at their foster home. Well, Mikey came and told me and mommy that uh, the girls' foster mom didn't like them. And I was like, what do you mean, son? And he said, she said that you and mommy have bad attitudes, and that's why I want to take custody. And I looked at Katie, the boys' supervisor. I'm like, did you hear that? And she said, no. Well, I was like, I told her what she said, and she said, you can't talk about that. I said, I didn't say anything. He told us. And that's when my little, my 14-year-old daughter started crying, and she was saying how she missed us. And Katie started to take her in the room this thing. She wanted to step out and talk to her. she said that her foster mom told her that Crystal hated her hair. Okay, before my kids was still in foster care, they had my daughter has never had their hair cut before. A woman had her blower. That's in my religion. So we had, well, they had, and they because the girls were dead ends off. And so just like 2 inches of the bottom of her hair, and she said yes. But since then, they cut it from down to their butt all the way past their shoulders. And Crystal, the last time, my wife, the last time she messaged the lady, and it was like, you know, with no due respect, please stop cutting on my daughter's hair. I give you permission, or don't, you know, please don't cut it again. And she ends up messaging Natalie, the supervisor along, she's an officer. And Natalie got in touch with the Health Connect supervisor, Amber, and so yelled at Amber saying that, you know, she wasn't supposed to be talking to her, like, sharing her foster mom gets the message us all the time, you know. Before this, I think they fell in love with their daughters, and once they fell in love with their daughters, they're like, you know, it basically it's something to the foster that if they can get rid of us, they can say a lifetime check for adopting our children.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to pause there. I'm going to pause there for a moment because I need to catch up with all the other people in the room. Hold on for a second, okay? All right?
Yes, sir.
Michael, hold on. Okay, I got to catch up with Joy. Joy has written me about 25 messages here, and I haven't been able to chance to answer them. Oh, brother. Hey, where did I leave off at? Let me see. I want to tell Christina Reynoso from Nevada that I don't have Aaron's email, so I can't forward it. And Joy has a terrible case in Fresno, California. And Andrea in Illinois has a terrible judge. Michael, of course, is you. Joy says CPS told me at my kitchen table that they should, or I say, he said he had a detector tool. There's no such thing as a portable lie detector tool that's worth anything. And you can refuse to take the lie detector test. It won't prove anything. And yes, they can answer random people. Yeah. And if Michael's, yeah, I know that. I know that. And yes, they can question people around the home. They can question people. And then you call me in, and then Joy says he was being sarcastic with me and asked me if I had a record. I said no, because I definitely worked for my record to be expunged. And here this man used my 21-year-old record that was expunged against. Oh boy, it looks like Jones really is messed up there. There was no help in Fresno, California. I totally feel you. It's so disgusting. I'm still in shock over what happened to my daughter who is autistic. She's special needs and she's easy to influence. It's not the fault, but the dad's in her ear. And then I hear you, as Andrea from Illinois. How can I expose the judge in trouble for using an attempt to get my transcripts? Well, you can call the state bar and put a complaint against the judge. You can call the state bar and put a complaint against the judge. Joyce says, my court-appointed public pretender, she's in the same boat you are, basically didn't contest any of the false accusations that the father was accused me of. And while I was drug tested for CPS, I had no idea I was supposed to be in court. Anyway, she says the CPS workers told me the day of the court, but the day before he told me an important thing that the meeting to have it shown in court. I need to put this on my show the comment page here. There we go. Let me see here.
They did that to me too, brother.
Yeah.
During that meeting, the GAO told us that during that meeting, the GAO told us that our December 3rd court date was rescheduled for December 10th. Well, we went up to the courthouse and they said no, that we still had the court on December 3rd. They were trying to make it so we didn't show up.
Right. Okay, let me finish off here with Joy. I'll be right back with you, Michael. The CPS worker had told me the day of court, but the day before he told me it was important that before I went to the meeting, not court, but a meeting, I'd have to test to show a judge. The following day I went to do the test. I was texting my worker because he never gave me any information on court until later that day. I showed up late to my court hearing and the judge had already ruled. Because I was tested for that CPS worker and failed to tell the judge that I was tested for him, we were in direct contact. He knew where I was, failed to disclose it to the judge. We've been 3 months. My case was over, took my rights away. I had full custody physically. Sole rights went to the father, who only had supervised visits at a facility, which 6.5 he never went to. So now I wrote a letter to appeal the court judge disagreeing with the appellate attorney decision, and I filed it, mailed out to the worker and the father and the daughter attorney there. And then she said the judge, the court appointed lawyer, the first one, was not prepared because he was not prepared with my evidence they had for him to submit. He said he didn't provide it, but need another day. Joy further says that lawyer and the judge were yelling at each other, and so he was upset and started to yell at me when we got to his office, tell me just give up because my daughter hates me and this I have to. I know I have a case, but I can't find a lawyer. There's no help for us parents in Fresno. These CPS are straight criminals. I agree. They have no souls. Do you understand how these people destroy? Yes, I do. They become suicidal. They are shame convicted in their eyes. My daughter at the time was turning 15, and her dad was pumping her up about making her a lowrider. So, of course, my daughter wanted to be with dad and say anything just for this party. But it's not my baby's fault. She's autistic, spectrum level 2, and needs special care. Also, easy influences to what the kid's age would say to either the father in your ear. It makes sense. And Joy further says, I have no record, and the CPS couldn't find anything on me. So they used my record that was expunged against me in court, which is also a violation. See, she had expunged her record when she was involved in CPS. I understand how these people can live with themselves. I agree with you, Joy. What you said is the same thing that Michael feels, the same thing Elisa Bartley from Montana feels. It's sad what all you parents have to go through. It really is. I'm gonna let you finish up with me, Michael. I'll let you talk the whole show, but I'm going to have to end my show. It's 8:00, so let's wrap up our conversation. What else do you have to ask me?
I was just gonna say that they're using charge from Alabama that haven't even been. I have a stand your ground hearing coming up, so they're using charges that ain't even on my record right now against me.
Well, they're making alleges. It's alleged charge. It's alleged charge. They got to say the word allege. It's alleged charge. They're going to use it. They're going to use it against you because they want to make you look bad.
Yes, sir.
They're going to make you look bad.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry that you had like there. Well, I'm going to wrap up right now. This is a good stopping point. But Michael, you can call in again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. I'll be there. I'll be there both those times. I'll be able to help you out further. Also, Joy, you can call in too tomorrow too. Joy from Fresno, California. Thank you so much. I know you're devastated. I know how it is, Joy. I feel for you. I really, really do. She has written a lot here, just like Michael has said on my phone here. Michael. Michael's from Tennessee, and he's dealing with a very corrupt system there. And Christina Reynoso, I don't have Erin's email, but I know she made a group. I know that we can join it. I just have to do that. And Andrea, I hear you in Illinois. Thank you for coming back. And then I think I covered everybody. Yeah, I did. Now I'm going to take down my phone number because we can't talk anymore. And then I'm going to put up the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Now that's if you can't get anywhere at the county level or the state level. You want to go to the federal government, you go to their website, tells you all what they're doing, their purpose. They have 2 phone numbers that you can call in on. Area code 202 is the White House. They also have an email address. You can send your stuff to them to look at your case. It's doge@mail.house.gov. And so if you think you're being against your civil rights, your constitutional rights been violated, then get a hold of Doge, because that's what they do so well there. Now, what I'm going to do here, let me see, I got some messages from Joe. I know they shut you out, Joey. I'm so sorry. Well, I got to end it here, you guys. And what I'm going to do is you're going to watch a video at the end of my show. It's really good. You'll like it. Also, again, I remind everybody I'll be on again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. God bless you all. And again, thank you, Michael, for your extensive call. And this is Bob Pace saying good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your